Thank you for listening to MichaelFranklinJr.com on Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to MichaelFranklinJr.com. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about the word constructive criticism, which most people do not know what constructive criticism is. And then a lot of people who try to give constructive criticism can't really take constructive criticism themselves. I've had several situations to where, and then you have, really need to know what constructive criticism is. Because a lot of people just give criticism. And then
not even good criticism.
It's not even good criticism.
It's not even criticism, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you go about a word constructive, that means to build. Yeah. Now, that means if your criticism is going to be constructive, you have to give something for a person to build off of.
And you can't say, if you're trying to give constructive criticism, you can't say, I don't like, because that's just you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't say, I don't like, or I don't like the way you sound, or I don't like your face. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing constructive about not liking my face.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any
sense.
sense.
Man, you can't take constructive criticism. You need a reconstructed face.
That's so stupid. If you're going to tell somebody, constructive criticism is if you saw somebody with an art, project that's going on, and let's say it's a painting. Somebody had painted the Mona Lisa, but it's kind of off. It's kind of shifted to lean at an angle. Constructive criticism would be, hey, it's a really good painting, but I feel if you shift it over just slightly and kind of straighten out the painting, it'd be even better. That's constructive because now you have something to build off of. You can go back and you can fix that.
Yeah, and you also shouldn't offer constructive criticism if you've never done what this person has done.
Yeah.
You can't tell Leonardo da Vinci that the Mona Lisa is off if you've never painted anything.
Yeah, that's another thing. And then people love to sit there and they'll say rude, awkward statements and be like, I'm trying to help you with constructive criticism. I just had a person sit here and tell me they're trying to help me with constructive criticism by telling me, and this isn't one person, this is multiple people, that I don't sound good with my songs, I should quit and I should go find something else to do. My question is, where in any of that you just said is constructive? What can I build off of that? I can't build anything off of that. That's 100% opinion. There's nothing constructive off of there. There's no criticism. It's just you saying something rude and trying to cover it up by saying constructive criticism.
And then it's like I said, you can't say if you have your own opinion.
Yeah.
That's not constructive criticism. Yeah. It should be if you had an idea that would make things better, then you should give that idea. But to say, me personally, I don't like it.
There's nothing constructive. I can't build off of the fact that you don't like something.
We don't care what you personally feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're only one person.
Now, if you told me something like, maybe you should tighten up your beats, I can build off of that. I can work with that. I can do something with that. Or maybe you should tighten up your vocals, or maybe you should put your vocals down in the mix a little more, or something like that. It's something to build off of. That's something I can go in, I can actually build, and we can see if it'll make it better.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Constructive criticism is constructive. constructive means build.
Yeah.
You don't see
construction. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see them saying we got a construction. We're constructing a building and they're breaking it down. They don't do that.
Yeah.
They build it up. That's the difference. Like people don't understand.
Yes, we're going to build this building. Let's grab a hammer and beat the walls in.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, and a lot of people will use that just to get the rudest things that they're thinking in their mind.
Yeah.
That they don't feel they can say to you.
And then that word, no disrespect.
Yeah, it's all disrespect. And it's like, y'all gotta learn like what is appropriate and what isn't. Because of the simple fact that if I was to come to you with quote unquote constructive criticism as if y'all do to me, then we have a problem. Everybody has a problem. But I'm not expected to have a problem. Yeah. That's the funny part about it. But the worst part about it is I don't have a problem and I don't care. Because of the simple fact that what you don't like, another person will.
Yeah.
And
what you said, 8 billion people on the planet?
8 billion people are on this planet. You are one. Your opinions don't matter.
There was a guy, matter of fact, there was recently, I posted the information about Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Because Bill Cosby is speaking out from jail, standing up like a man, and I respect him for that.
Yeah.
Because he said he's not going to admit guilt, for whatever that they say he did.
Yeah.
And I also think that it's because, and I saw the lady, it's a white woman that he supposedly grabbed her breast 30 years ago or something like that, and that's what he's supposedly convicted for. A 10-year sentence for grabbing a white woman's breast 30 years ago. Which is crazy. 89 years old. Man is 89 years old. He's in prison being an inspiration to the prison inmates. And standing up like a man saying, listen, I'm not going to admit guilt, so I'm most likely going to spend the rest of my life in here.
That is so tragic.
And then I posted that, and somebody said, "Well, that man is guilty. He never should have did what he did, and he deserved whatever they gonna give him." I said,
after 30 years.
But then hold on. I said, you don't know this man. How are you gonna? First off, you do not know what this man has done. Like me, personally, I done seen it so many times. People get railroaded. So I can't say that this man did that.
Yeah.
And then at the time, I'm thinking about the industry, the music industry, the television industry, the movie industry, and how many groupies like the stuff that's going on. We just talked about the stuff that's going on with Russell Simmons. And Oprah is losing popularity.
Yeah.
Because of the stuff that's going on with Russell Simmons. Because she's, especially being a black man, you automatically convicting this man.
Like before you even really know
what's going on.
You know what? There's a big stigma. What is that? Stigma. Mm-hmm. There's a big stigma that's been going on in Vegas. In the world, like mostly in America.
United States.
Mostly in America. So there's big stigma where people are hating these people they don't even know. Yeah. I was talking to somebody online, and they were mad because Blueface came out and he started speaking about lanes, and he wasn't wrong. Everybody has a lane in the industry. When you try to cross lanes, it doesn't, just because you crossed and you did one thing in that lane, don't mean that you're now like a full-fledged person in this lane. Because of the simple fact that it's disrespectful to everybody in that lane. People work hard to do what they did and to get where they at, just for somebody to come along and say, I did one thing and now I'm in your lane. Yeah. Like that's disrespectful. So it's like there was a comedian, Lil Duval, who he popped up into the music scene. It happens. King Batch, he did it himself too. But King Batch.
Oh, King Batch. Okay.
Yeah, he did it himself too. But King Batch understands his limit and where he goes. he don't consider himself an artist. He still considers himself a comedian because all he did was come out with a dance song, exactly what Lil Duval did, and it became popular because it was a dance song by a comedian.
Yeah,
they liked it, just like they like Lil Duval's song. Does that mean King Batch is now a full-fledged rap artist? No, he will still tell you he's a comedian because he understands his lane. And that's the problem that's going on with Lil Duval. He don't understand his lane. He came out with a silly, funny song that got popular because it was silly and funny.
Yeah, and it was happy. It was a fun song.
Yeah, it was a nice little, cool little song. That don't mean you're an artist now. That just means you're a comedian and there was funny song.
But see, there one thing about it, there was no art involved in it.
Exactly.
Because the beat was from Curious by Midnight Star. So there was no art involved in it.
It takes a lot.
Only thing that was artful is he put artists on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I'm telling you right now, it takes a lot more than just stealing a beat because I make beats myself. I make my own beats, I write my own songs, and I mix my own stuff. It takes a lot to actually make a song. People think it's extremely easy, but I promise you, if you was to download the programs and to do it all yourself, you would have a very hard time for a very long time. It will take you very long. It takes
time to learn how to do it.
You gotta learn it first.
Some people it takes longer than others.
Yeah, like people got a mistake with music. It's kind of like trying to open up Photoshop and use it for the first time. You will not know what you're doing. You wouldn't know what you're doing. You'll be sitting there confused, trying to Google everything and not getting the answers because Google ain't gonna help you. That's exactly how it is with the programs. Download FL Studio, download Logic, download Ableton, download Pro Tools. I promise you, you're going to give up extremely quickly because you ain't going to know what you're doing. But back to what I was saying. Yeah. So I got in the comment. I was in the little comment sections on my Instagram. Yeah. Martian one, go follow me on Instagram. Yeah. But I was in the comment section and basically what happened was this person was sitting here hating on Blueface and saying that somebody else put him on. And I had to pause them for a second because, you know, in the music industry, majority of the people, like, I'm talking all the way back. Let's go all the way back to where music first started. Sugar Hill Gang. They were put on. A white woman came along and gave them the funds to be able to get their music out like that. Yeah. To record their music and to be able to ship it into a new part.
The cool part about that is that wasn't the beginning of hip hop.
Yeah, that wasn't the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. And as a matter of fact, the real hip hop heads, the guys who really created hip hop, they don't even like the Sugar Hill Gang because they weren't even rappers.
That part too. but basically what I'm trying to say is like throughout the history of music and the entire industry creation from the get-go, because that's where the industry actually started to become an industry and not just a culture or just like something that people do for fun. It started to become something people did for money and work. Because before that, they did it as a hobby. They did it to mostly, have fun and stuff like that. It was more of a fun culture that they didn't really want to record at the beginning because they didn't want money to be involved with it. But once they got the money involved with it, somebody put them on. The very first people that started to do things that involved money were put on. And ever since then, everybody else has always been put on. There's very few
record label or hooked up or something like, you know what I'm saying?
There's very few people that has put themselves on. Jay-Z, a legend, icon, huge. What is it?
Dash.
Yeah. Damien Dash. Yeah, Damien Dash put him on. This is a legend. People look up to him. People believe that he did it himself. when that's not the case. And I promise you, if you probably ask him, he will tell you Damian Dash put him on.